Good morning. It's 9:45 on Wednesday, September the 2nd, 2020. It's Malcolm McPherson in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. Kingston's located at the westerly end of the Thousand Islands on the St. Lawrence River and also the easterly end of Lake Ontario. It's overcast here today, but my mood's sunny. And what I thought I'd do is briefly talk about mental health today. And I'm a firm believer that mental health is health. And I'd like to introduce myself in a series of videos, very short videos. And I'd like to share some information about activities that I'm interested in and some hobbies. I've recovered more or less from a psychosis and schizophrenia spectrum disorders, specifically schizophrenia, and I was discharged from the Clark Institute of Psychiatry in Toronto in 1978, and I was discharged with an excellent prognosis. My education's a general education, a little bit of business, some arts and science, some social science, and a bit of adult education. I think it's important that we all be kind to ourselves and be good to ourselves, and that's what I've been working on lately. My journey has been one of lots of sunshine and lots of darkness, lots of good times, lots of bad times. It's a difficult illness, schizophrenia, but when you feel well, you do feel well and you can engage and do things. I feel that when I do activities that I like to do, like my hobbies and my interests, I feel much better, and my brain functioning flows much better, my psychological flows better, and my cognitive and psychological flexibility are a lot better. So doing things that one likes is really a good thing. And what I'd like to do today is share my activity of learning to bake. I took this up about 1.5 years ago, and I didn't know how to do it, but I find that learning new things helps one's brain activity and the neural circuits and everything like that that makes our flow good. So when we do things that we like to do, my experience is that we tend to feel better, and there's always tomorrow. You know, if it's dark tonight or today, then tomorrow may be brighter. So there's that optimism. So what I think I'll do now is take a break and break for a little endorsement, and when I come back we'll be in the kitchen and I will have partially prepared the peach pies that I'm going to make today. I'm going to make 1 peach pie and 1 strawberry and peach pie, and I'm going to give a half of 1 pie to 2 different friends. And the reason why I do that is I've learned that when you do things for others or buy things for others, we tend to feel better. And I learned that in the Happiness Lab podcast with Dr. Laurie Santos of Yale University. So without further ado, we'll break right now and we'll come back. And I'd like to continue over the next week or so with 4 or 5 or 6 different videos of the different activities that I'm engaged in. My endorsement today is from my lived experience. No matter how bad you feel, one way to help with the day is to make your bed in the morning, because it's a decision that you take charge of. You decide to make your bed, and when you make it, you feel like, wow, I accomplished something. I know it's small, but it does make a difference. And even if you just pull the covers up and make them a little bit neater, it's something that you've done for yourself. Also, I find that a good breakfast helps get the day going. Today I had fresh grapes. I had half a cup of fresh grapes, and I had a slice of whole wheat toast with peanut butter and marmalade. And some of my breakfasts are a little quirky, but I seem to like it. I got the protein and fat from the peanut butter and a bit of sugar from the marmalade, and I got a grain and I got some fruit. And for break in about half an hour, I'll have a little bit of plain yogurt and maybe some strawberries. So it gives me a balance. And the thing I've learned is it's all about the portions. If you eat balanced, good food, it's the portions. Small portions and balanced food, I find in my own experience that I won't be hungry. So that's my endorsement from my own lived experience for today. Good afternoon. We're back in Malcolm's Kitchen in Kingston, Ontario to continue this video about trying to manage negative symptoms of schizophrenia through activity and intention and interests and hobbies. And I've got quite a few hobbies and interests which I hope to share with you over the next few videos. Now, I promised that we'd make peach pie, and I've done that. I've peeled the peaches and skinned them and sliced them up, and I prepared the pie crust. It was a boughten pie crust from the local supermarket, but that's what I was recommended to do, and I'm just learning because they say that pie crust is quite difficult to actually make for the novice. So I took the easy way out on that, but these will be fresh pies with fresh fruit. Now, about 2 days ago, I bought 3 liters of Ontario peaches, and I let them ripen a couple of days before I sliced them up today. And I also bought 2 liters of strawberries, so one of the pies may have some strawberries, and if not, I'll use some of them tomorrow to make a few tarts. So to get started, I took about 2 cups and a little bit more of fresh peaches, and I put them in this saucepan, and I added about a cup of water and a cup of sugar, and on the side I prepared some cornstarch and cold water and made a slurry. So what I did was cook the peaches for about 20 minutes on medium heat, and then I lowered it to low heat until they became cooked in like a slurry, and then I placed them in the fridge and cooled them, and I placed the pie shells in the oven for about 15 minutes and baked those. So we're ready to assemble the pies right now, so I'd like to involve you in that. And I assure you, I'm not an experienced baker, and it's very easy to have fresh fruit pies, and with my experience, they're all kind of made the same way as I described in this pot and pan. So let's go ahead and get started here, and we'll put some of the peach in one of the pies. There. I think you can see that, hopefully. So that's about half full. And then over here I have some more cut up peaches, and they've been, so what I'll do is place those on top. Just like this. And because we're all conscious of our weight, I assume because of COVID-19 we're kind of sedentary. I won't use whipped cream, and I don't know how to make a pastry topping, so there we go. That's we'll just use up the last of these peaches. Gee, I feel like Martha Stewart, but I don't think I'm in her league. So there's one peach pie. I guess I didn't quite measure right. 3 liters isn't enough to make 2 pies. So I have some strawberries here, and after the show I will cook those up and put the remainder of the peach in there and fill it up with strawberries. So that'll make a bit of a peach strawberry bumblebee pie a bit later. So all I do now to finish this, where I don't use whipped cream or make a pastry, is take shredded coconut that you can buy at pretty well any grocery store. It's not very expensive, and nothing in these pies cost a lot. I think I'm in Canadian dollars, but the 2 pie shells were under $3, and the peaches were $6.99 for 3 liters, and the strawberries were $3 for 2 liters. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. Voila, there we go. A finished peach pie. So the pie over here will be finished after the show, in the after hours segment. So anyway, that's that. Now the negative symptoms of schizophrenia are some of the most difficult to get over. And my sense, just with schizophrenia in general, is that it's basically incongruence between, well, and I can't talk about other people, but I mean my own lived experience is that it was an incongruence between my conscious mind and my subconscious mind, and both were quite negative and reacted in a negative way, and subconsciously in a self-persecuting way, which is very, very damaging and difficult to get over. The conscious mind, I was generally fairly happy-go-lucky, and when I was in a good mood, I presented well and was quite able to have a smile on my face. But at night or at different times, my subconscious would take over and torment me, and I think that represents kind of the basis of schizophrenia, and the negative symptoms certainly manifest themselves in negativity, where I tended to self-persecute and ruminate on past situations where I felt I was unjustly treated or harmed. So that kind of is a summary. I hope to proceed over future videos and get into voices, hallucinations, and delusions in much more detail and explain how I was able to solve them in my particular case. But for the next few videos, I'd like to keep them short, and I'm going to wrap up shortly, but I would like to focus on different activities. And another day, I think what I'll do is explain my little DJ business, which I have, and then I'll also tie that in with some other lived experience of how I dealt with schizophrenia, and go from there. So we'll get started on that next time. I hope everybody has a good night, and I look forward to producing another video for you. And if you like the videos, click like and give me some comments and feedback as to what you'd like to hear about in future videos. I'm just turned 70 years old, and I've had decades of good experiences and bad experiences, and there's not too much that I don't really feel comfortable talking about as far as it relates to schizophrenia. So feel free to ask me questions, and I'll try to incorporate them in future videos. So until next time, have a good night, and think gratitude. Think of what you're grateful for and what the good things are in your life.